Hi guys, welcome to Silver Lake Honey Channel. Finally, we have some nice weather. This week supposed to be 70 and up to 80, 81. So after a long winter, we can finally work our bees, and I'm so happy about that. So our hives survived the winter. What do we need to do right now? One of the main things to check is if they have enough food, and if they have queen. Is the queen laying? Is she laying worker brood? And to check for mites. So we're gonna open a hive and see like what's the situation, if the brood is moved to one side or another. Last week we did a pre-spring check, and we opened a few hives just to check and make sure that they're alive, they survived the winter, and that they have enough food. And it's not advisable to expose the brood to the cold temperatures, because brood can chill and you can get shock brood. But we kind of check general, just to have an idea what's going on. Today is a little windy, but it's really nice. It's like 65, 66. So finally it's good, feels good for us beekeepers and for bees. As you can see, they're flying all over. So let's dig in the hive and see what's going on. As you all know, I like to use pine needles in combination with tinder mushroom that grow on the trees. That really seem to calm the bees and really works for me. Also, I want to give you one more tip. If you don't like bulky gloves, those big beekeeping gloves, and you're handling, bees, you can check out these kind of gloves. They're dual layer, and they have I found them in Home Depot. They have two colors, one black and orange, and they're thick, and you can have really they're sensitive. You can work the bees, even queens. So I don't like to wear any gloves, but when I have to wear them, this will be something that I would use. As you can see, we have our spring patty here that we put last week. And here on the lid you can see different, you can see the really young bees and older bees. You can tell the difference because older bees have lost their hairs, they're shiny looking, and really young bees are like this one. She's got a really fine hair on her. As you can see, they're eating this spring patty here. See, when I see that the cluster moved this way, kind of like on the side, this side. So you don't want One thing to remember when using these plastic bags, I use zip bags for my patties to dispose of it. You know, don't throw it around your bee yard. So that's why I like carrying this pouch where I can put my tools and also put, you know, some garbage. When working bees, you want to go do really slow and gentle. You don't want to do, you know, sudden movements, or bees, you know, feel when you're nervous and when you know. So try to be calm as much as you can. See, on this frame, you can see all kinds of pollen right here. Just pollen. So as I can see from this angle, there's a this frame, and right next to it is pollen. So they use this pollen to feed their young larvae. And I'll see if the queen is getting out of the room. So we're gonna put one empty frame next to the brood, and then put this frame of food next. All right. And also remember to always put the frame back in the original position. This last frame also has some pollen right here, and they don't have a whole lot of food, so we are gonna have to feed this hive, as I can see. So we'll see on that other side, if there's food on that other side, we're gonna move it to this side and have it around the cluster. If not, then we'll have to do feeding 1-to-1 sugar syrup and pollen patty. Okay, the second frame. Yeah, second frame is capped, all stages of brood, but mostly capped brood. Okay, so I see the larvae and I see the capped brood. So you can see on this frame all stages of brood. So we have capped brood and we also have larvae. And eggs. And we have some pollen on the around the brood. So we're gonna add this empty frame next to the brood, and we want to have queen lay. We want to continuously give her room to lay. We don't want to block the queen with the nectar or with the pollen. So now we're gonna take a look at the bottom box and see what's going on there. Yeah, so this box is totally empty, so they're all out of food. I'm still not gonna reverse the boxes. It's too early for that. We still have some cold weather. Bees like the upper box because it's a lot warmer and they have insulation on the top. So we're gonna wait because we still have cold nights. We're gonna wait and then reverse later on. What I also like to do at this time is to clean the bottom board, because this time of the year bottom board can be nasty. It's a lot of dirt and stuff that they've been accumulating throughout the winter time. So after cleaning and scrubbing the bottom board, I like to spray it with hydrogen peroxide and also with propolis tincture. So that kind of disinfects the bottom board. They really like this spring patty. Yeah, they're bringing in a lot of pollen. There's some nectar in this frame, first one. Oh, there's a lot of eggs. Eggs and pollen. There's a queen. Saw a larvae here. This is all eggs and larvae. Yeah, this one's got pollen and honey. So there's, on this one there's like 3 frames of honey on this side. You can see it's full of honey, so we're gonna move like we're gonna move 1 frame of honey on this side. So this is the empty frame we're gonna put next to the brood, so she's got place to lay. And we have honey on both sides. Okay, let's see what's in the bottom box. Probably empty like the other one. Let's see. This one's got some weight. Some pollen. Some honey. Some tea. Yeah, pretty much. They have moved all the honey from the bottom boxes on the top. Yeah, see, they're still working on it right here. Yeah, still honey down. So they're gonna move this honey up whenever they need it. This one's full. So there's like 3 to 4 frames partially filled with honey on the bottom box. So they're still moving it up. So we're gonna take this full frame and move it to our first hive that didn't have a lot of food. So we're gonna put empty frame on this one and move this honey over to the other hive. I'm going to take this empty frame, move it to the bottom box. I like to have some kind of, really like this garden like cart, but I work the bees, so I like to keep it, and they have, it's got the wheel so I can move it down the line, and when I work it's easy to just rotate and put the box on top of it. Okay, so this hive's got honey on this frame. Brood. There's a lot of brood. A lot of new bees emerging. New spring bees and winter bees are dying. You can see a bee emerging right here. She's poking her head out. A lot of bees are emerging. You can see there's bees in my gloves and they can't sting me. This double, they're heavy, you know, extra heavy box with two sides. They're heavy gloves with two sides, and they work very, very good. I like them. Well, and as you know, all my things that I recommend is not, I don't get paid by nobody or nothing. I just kind of share what works for me throughout the years. And this is a really good example of the eggs frame. I have these, touch these bees to move, and there's eggs right every cell. This whole frame is just eggs. This is pollen. Some honey. So this pollen and honey is right next to the, kind of in the middle. So we're gonna move it on the side and give queen more room to lay. Yeah, this is also all honey. And all the other ones are honey. This hive's doing pretty good. So they are mostly on this side with the stores on this side. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of food, pollen and honey, and then 3 frames full of honey on this side. And this one is empty. So we're gonna have to move some of this honey on the other side. You can see the last frame is also honey. Okay, so we're gonna have honey, and then we're gonna have this frame of pollen and open nectar next to it, and then I'm gonna have empty frames so the queen's got room to lay, and pollen right next to the brood. And we're gonna move this so this is totally empty frame that we moved from this side, so we're gonna put it here to give her more room to expand. Okay, and now the last honey frame is gonna go here. So let's check what's going on in the bottom box. Let's see if they still have some honey or it's all empty. It's a good idea when we have, you can see drone larvae, to check for varroa mites, because they hide in this drone cells, and when you lift the box, usually you're gonna see varroa mite top of that larvae. It's a good sign there's no varroa there. But also you can do like powder sugar method and or alcohol wash or some other ones. Just make sure if you do have varroa to treat. Yeah, this box was left with 10 frames. I usually leave 8 or 9 honey frames in the fall, so they they transfer the honey up above their clusters. They're storing some different color pollen. Yeah, and here queen moved down too, so she's laying a lot of brood. Yeah, it looks like this queen knows what she's doing, so sometimes they move to the bottom box on their own, and sometimes you have to flip the boxes. But I wait till the nights are a little bit warmer and there's steady temperatures, so I flip the boxes and then have the queen move up and lay in the top box, and that's going to be our split. We'll cover a lot more topics about, you know, splitting and pre-split, how to check, you know, when it's time to split the bees, and we're going to film all these new videos as we go. Going from hive to hive, and when you empty this, don't empty it close to the hives, empty it somewhere far, and also spray your tools and whatever you touch from one hive to another with peroxide to prevent spreading any diseases. So hydrogen peroxide 3% and propolis tincture. Okay guys, we are live and kicking. We're in full force. Queens are laying. There's a lot of brood. We're gonna do some 1-to-1 sugar syrup put on them and some protein, and they're ready for the next season. Thank you all for watching. We're gonna cover a lot of different topics, and we're making these videos every week and show what we do. So later on, for the beginner beekeepers, we're gonna show the location of those 2 hives that we are gonna choose and monitor throughout the year, introduce the bees, and work the bees throughout the whole year, throughout all the seasons. Also, we prepared double deep frames. We're gonna do our golden hybrid beehive, and we'll see how that's gonna develop. For all these different topics, we have playlists, and we're gonna show you different videos about them. So again, thank you for watching. Happy beekeeping, and see you next time.